We're live. Yeah. All right. Like I was saying, hopefully we got better connection now. We'll stay up the whole time. But fresh cut, courtesy of Cullen Parrott. Shout out Cullen Parrott. Also want to tell everybody to hopefully send good spirits and a prayer up for the boy Ian O'Leary, who's done the show many of times. Plans to continue doing the show. He's going through a pretty rough time right now. His father's got some medical issues going on. That's as far as I'll put it. Just let him, if he wants to come out and say it's his business. But just everybody send a prayer for my boy Ian O'Leary, Easy E. This week, UFC Vegas 36, we're going to jump right into it so we don't kill our internet access. Paddy Pimblett, Luigi Vandermani. I got a bunch of shit written down. But fuck Paddy Pimblett. You're going to get knocked out. Luigi Vandermani for the win, knockout. Fuck you, Paddy. Second fight, Modestas Budaskis versus Khalil Roundtree. Damn, I wish Ian was here to help me pronounce these names because I can't pronounce shit. But Budaskis is 11-4, 8 knockouts, 1-2 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, being knocked out by Jimmy Crute, and he lost a decision, split decision, to Michel Olashis. How do you say that last name? Again, fucking botching it. 3 out of 4 of his losses via TKO, and he's going to have a 2-inch height and a 1.5-inch reach advantage going into this fight. Now, the 3 out of 4 losses by TKO is very key here because Khalil Roundtree is a finisher, man. He knows how to get a knockout. He's 8-5-1, 5 knockouts, 1-3 in his last 4, though. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He got knocked out by Alan Kutulaba and lost the decision to Marcin Tybura. Is that right? Marcin Tybura. He's never been submitted in his career. He has UFC wins over Paul Craig, Gokhan Saki, and Eric Anders. He's 4-5-1 in the UFC. I got Khalil Roundtree pretty handily by knockout. Kind of not seeing any other way for Budaskis to get a win here on Saturday. Alex Moreno, David Zawada. Moreno, second-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's a black belt in taekwondo. 19-9-1 professional record. He has won his last fight via TKO over Donald Cowboy Cerrone. He's 8-4-1 in the UFC with UFC wins over Max Griffin, Zach Atua, and Josh Berkman. Never been submitted in his career, going against David Zawada, who is 17-6, 11-15 wins via knockout, 1-3 in the UFC, won by submission over Ubukar Nurmagomedov, and then he lost decisions to Danny Roberts and Ramazan Emeev, and then got knocked out by Li Jingliang. I think Moreno's got the advantage grappling, striking. I think it's going to be a pretty easy night for Alex Moreno. This is, if we were saying lock on the main card, I think Alex Moreno would be a for sure lock on the main card. Now, Zavada only coming in plus 150. Fought some big names, guys. Nurmagomedov, Danny Roberts, Emeev, Jing Liang, whereas, Moreno's biggest fights are Max Griffin, Cowboy Cerrone. You know what I mean? He's fought in more high-level fights, but as far as ground credentials, striking, standing, and striking standing, and then grappling, I think Alex Moreno has a severe advantage over David Zabata. Alex Perez, Matt Shell. I don't know what's going on with that fight, man. I've seen on a couple of places it was supposed to be this weekend, but then I'm looking on the UFC website. I'm looking at the odds makers websites, and I can't really find any odds on it, and it's not on the UFC website. So I did a preview for it. Just based off of my preview, if I had to pick, I'm probably going to go Alex Perez, but I don't think it's fight's happening, so we're going to skip it. Tom Aspinall, Sergey Spivak is the co-main event. I think Aspinall is supposed to fight somebody. Either way, he's fighting Spivak now. Spivak is 13-2. He's only been knocked out once in his career, and that was by Walt Harris in his UFC debut. He's never been submitted. He's got 5 knockout wins and 6 submission wins. He's 4-2 in the UFC. wins over Alexio Olenek, Jared Vandera, Carlos Felipe, and Tai Tuivasa. His only other loss in his career was to Marcin Tybura. So Marcin Tybura, Walt Harris, both guys very high level. No shame in losing to those two guys. Tom Aspinall, though, is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, 10-2, never been knocked out in his career. Only one loss, or one of his two losses was a DQ for an illegal elbow. So technically, probably won that fight. I didn't look back. I didn't look into the fight at all. So I don't know what happened of the illegal elbow, but he potentially could have won that fight. And because of an illegal blow, lost. So technically, only one real loss. He's 5-0 in the UFC. He's got, or 3-0, sorry, in the UFC. He's got TKO wins over Jake Collier and Alan Bodat, and then a submission win over Andrei Arlovsky. He went to the well with Arlovsky. You know, Arlovsky's a great kickboxer, so he went to his grappling. Spivak, I think, is very well-rounded. He's a great grappler. He's a great striker. He's going to be able to bring it to Aspinall. Aspinall coming in at minus 300. I think it's a little bit closer. So I think if I was a gambling man, I would lay some money down on Sergey Spivak. But of course, in my state, I am a blue-collar citizen, and there is no sports betting in my state. So I am not betting on sports. But for my picks, because I take my picks extremely seriously, I'm going to go Tom Aspinall. I think he's got more paths to victory. And, you know, he's tall. He's a big guy, very heavy hands. He's very equally matched to Sergey Spivak. And I think if anybody's going to beat Spivak in this point in his career, it's going to be Tom Aspinall. Derek Brunson, Darren Till. In the main event, black belt in jiu-jitsu is Brunson. That is under Renzo Gracie, Division II wrestler, previously in college, 22-7 professional MMA career, 12 knockouts, 5 knockout losses. Never been submitted in his career. He's on a 4-fight winning streak at the moment with decision wins over Elias Theodorou, Ian Heinisch, and then most recently Kevin Holland. He also has a TKO win over Edmund Shabazian in there. Whereas Darren Till right now is on a little bit of a rough patch, 1-3 in his last 4 fights. 18-3-1 professional record, 10 knockouts. He got a chance to fight for the title. Or let me start over. He was 5-0-1 in the UFC. He gets a chance at the title. Gets submitted by Tyron Woodley, probably the biggest, situation of his career. Where were they? They were in I want to say Dallas, but I don't. AT&T Center maybe or something like that. Big, huge venue, sold out, and he got submitted by Tyron Woodley. Comes back from that, gets knocked out by George Masvidal, wins a split decision. No. Yes. Wins a split decision to Kevin Gastelum, and then loses a decision to Robert Whittaker. So, Robert Whittaker, George Masvidal, Tyron Woodley at the time, not any embarrassing losses. Darren Till is still, he's got great kickboxing. He's got that kind of, he's not a karate style fighter, but he's got a great karate stance, light on that lead foot, huge power left. So sort of similar to like a giant Conor McGregor. He's normally like his body frame is more suited for light heavyweight or middleweight. He was fighting at welterweight at one point. And Brunson, he's coming in a little bit bigger. He's got a smaller frame, so I guess like more of a 185, 170 frame, but coming in a little bit taller, a little bit more reach than Darren Till. I expect Darren Till to come in muscle mass bigger, but of course, Brunson will have the size and the reach advantage over him in the fight. It's kind of hard not to pick Darren Till. I really don't enjoy Derek Brunson's fighting style. I know everybody's going to say, hey, he's a wrestler. And I like wrestling. I used to wrestle when I was in high school. I got buddies that were really good at wrestling. And I think that the smartest background you can have going into MMA is some kind of sambo, combat sambo, wrestling, Greco-Roman, something like that is the best base to have going into MMA because, you get in trouble in a fight, you're going to go back to the well, go back to the main thing that and if that thing is wrestling, you got a lot better chances than if your thing is boxing and you can't get on the inside and you can't land your jab or something like that, then it's going to be tough. It's a lot easier to, trip, throw, pull guard, shoot for a takedown. There's a bunch of different options on how you're going to get the fight to the ground. And then if you can get the fight there and you're a lot better at it, then, it's going to work in your favor a lot of the time. I hope that's not the case with Derek Brunson, and it may be a biased pick, but I'm going to go Darren Till there. Hopefully by TKO or knockout. The rest of the card, like I said, minus the Alex Perez fight, it's going to be Molly McCann versus Ji Young Kim. Jack Shore taking on Ludwig Schulinan. Julian Erosa versus Charles Jourdain. Delucha Lungabula versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Jonathan Martinez going against Marcelo Rojo. And now this is another fight I couldn't find anywhere as far as odds or the UFC website or anything, but Mark DeCasey versus Rafael Alves. I also seen listed on this card, and I didn't see. Now, I want to preface this for the Alex Perez fight. I did see that it was on the card. I haven't seen anywhere that it was taken off. That's my dilemma, is that I'm seeing in places that it's not on the card anymore, but I haven't seen any news as far as that it was taken off of the card. Same thing as far as Mark DeCasey, Rafael Alves. I've seen places where it's on the card, and then places where it's not, but I haven't seen any news about somebody falling out of the card or something like that. Now, Paul Craig was supposed to fight Alexander Gustafsson. They have left him on some sites on the card. I guess they're looking for a replacement. It is Tuesday. I wouldn't put it further past, like we say every Tuesday, tomorrow morning. They don't got an opponent for him. They'll probably just book the Gustafsson fight later, maybe late September, early October, something like that. But that is what is on the horizon. Darren Till versus Derek Brunson coming up. I want to take one look at what is next after that, if we have a break or not. I hope not. September 4th to September 18th, we do unfortunately have another break. September 4th. So September 11th. Not sure why they would be taking a break that week. Oh, damn, 9/11. I guess I just didn't want to do a fight on 9/11, I guess. Mad respect. I like it. Mad respect. September 18th, though, will be Anthony Smith versus Ryan Spann, which I think is going to be a great fight. Anthony Smith has a lot to prove. There's been a lot of doubts going into his last couple fights, especially with the John Jones fight. And then the most, I think, who did he fight? Glover in his last fight. But a lot of doubts going up against Anthony Smith. Ryan Spann was on a tear. And I believe he also lost his last fight. Oh, no, he lost against Johnny Walker in September. And then in March, he knocked out Misha Serkinov. But so Ryan Spann is still extremely impressive in my eyes, and an up-and-comer in the heavyweight division. Bunch of good fights on the 18th card. But biggest news that I just found out is that there is no UFC next weekend, and we got plenty of time. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of PFL or the Contender Series is always on Tuesday. Matter of fact, right now, if you are done listening to me, go watch the Contender Series, because we have missed. I watched the AJ Fletcher fight, but we have missed at least one decision. I watched the entire wrestling match of the second fight, and the third fight more than likely has started already. So I'm going to hang this up. I'm going to go back to watching. Everybody go watch the Contender Series. We'll be back next Tuesday for a preview show. Hopefully my boy's Ian back. Remember to put some prayers up for my guy, and we'll see you next Tuesday.